Computer. All right, cool. So, hey everybody, Dr. Dane here, and you don't know who this handsome face is, but I sure do. This is a gentleman that I've met in the past year, and we've become real good friends. He's become a coach. He's just, guys, if you know me, you know I've been doing CrossFit for a long time, and I really have a passion around it. I've been in over 50 boxes. That's no lie, because when I travel, I'm always looking for a box. A good friend of mine, Paul Reed, who competes at a high level with CrossFit, and Matt knows his stuff as a coach, but that's not really why I asked him to come on. I read a really good quote, Matt, and I want to share it with you. I just thought this was awesome because I think this is a time where people are really uncertain about the future. And the quote was, "Maturity is the capacity to endure uncertainty." And I want to read that again. Maturity is the capacity to endure uncertainty.
I love it.
I think mature people take this, what's really the fear and turn it into opportunity. And that's what mature people do. They don't panic and say, okay, it's time to jump ship, right? So maybe Matt, and what we're going to get to ultimately, guys, is I want Matt to really describe how he's turned this fear, because again, Matt, think about all the CrossFit owners that you know, and they're just closing up shop, and people probably, because they're not getting value. And trust me, Matt is basically rents space in our building, and he's been doing CrossFit for a really long time. He has a business, but I belong to another CrossFit in Doylestown, and I'm not getting anything. And it's crossed my mind, Matt. I'm like, man, if this goes on for a month or two, am I going to keep my membership at Sandy Dog? And again, I'm a loyal person, so I'm probably not going to do that. But, it's crossed my mind, and I know if it's crossing my mind, it's crossing a lot of other people's mind. Yeah. And the cool thing is you haven't lost one member, and matter of fact, you're gaining members, right?
We're going to have a record-breaking March. And when I say record-breaking, it's not for the past 1 or 2 years. This is record-breaking in terms of our business life, and that's a little over 10 years.
So maybe can you just give everybody a little bit of background of who Matt Giordano is and how you got to be where you are?
Sure. So I'll fast forward through the way back when, but I've always been enthralled with working out, and from a young age. My first job was in this hardcore gym. I was 15 or 16. My dad got me the job, and I was making smoothies and checking people in and washing the towels. And I looked around and I was like, this is exactly where I want to be. And I haven't left the fitness industry since I was 15. Now, I've had other jobs to support myself while in the fitness industry, because a lot of people on there can probably resonate with the fact that it's a hard profession. It is. It really is a hard one to figure out until you've had enough experience with it. So I ended up going to school, and I had my graduate degree in exercise science as well as my undergrad. Floated around in after grad school into corporate fitness. I was a YMCA director. I was a personal trainer. I was a strength coach for some high school sports teams. And I was actually ended up eventually getting a job as an adjunct professor at Montgomery County Community College. And it was actually there that I was introduced to CrossFit. And I've been doing CrossFit over 10 years now. So I was teaching a class called Theory and Strength and Conditioning. So it was half lecture, half practical. And I had this guy in my class, and his name was Paul. And I call him a guy now because we're still friends to this day. And he was a student of mine at one point. So he said, have you ever heard of CrossFit? And I'd heard of it, but I was like running marathons. I was doing some kettlebell work. I had some knowledge in Olympic weightlifting because of my background, and the strength coach I had when I was in college had us doing that stuff. But I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then somehow he convinced me to come with him on like a friend's day to a workout. And I came with him, and the workout took me, it was a workout hell, and it was like kettlebell swings, running, and pull-ups, okay? And these were in days where not many people were doing kipping pull-ups, so people would come in and do some strict ones, and they'd be half bent arm, half straight arm. But it's crazy how it's come reverse. We probably should be doing the strict stuff and not doing the fancy kipping stuff, but that's for a different lecture and a different time. So anyway, I did the workout, and it took me about 10 minutes, and then it took me about another 30 minutes to pick myself up off the floor after that. And after that, I was like, all right, I have to go look at this now, because I was a fitness geek. I was in it my whole life. So I went and checked it out, went to the level 1 cert. And what people don't know is CrossFit's not an exercise methodology. They're actually not even a fitness company. They're a media company. So what they were able to do, because they had some juggernauts in the media space, they were able to take functional fitness, perform that a little bit higher intensity than you probably normally would on your own, or some cool formats to make fitness actually enjoyable for people, right? Because that's the main thing here, guys, right? I don't think CrossFit's the end-all, be-all. I'd be naive and a terrible strength coach if I thought CrossFit was for everybody. I think it is. I think it could solve a lot of problems in some modified versions, but you got to do something you like, right? If you like Orange Theory, go do that. If you like doing Peloton, go do that. But you got to be fit, right? That's what we're all worrying about here. You got to be healthy, or it's just not going to end well. It's not. So you got to take care of your body. So anyway, I fell in love with it. I liked it. I wanted to be my personal exercise program. And then I said, I really love it so much, and I find the value in it that I think I could help a lot of people using CrossFit, in the marketing sense. And it did. It helped. I worked at an affiliate in Doylestown for a little bit, and fast forward years later, I met Doc Tom, and I've been at Newtown for a little over 10 years. And
so can you talk about that, Matt? Because people don't know who Doc Tom are.
Okay, yeah, sure. So after I had a falling out in a gym in Doylestown, so I'm still a professor at the time, so I'm looking for coaching jobs, and I randomly see a CrossFit coach job open on, is actually Craigslist at that time. So I went on there, and I called, and it was this guy, Doc Tom, answering the phone. So he's answering the phone. I saw a CrossFit posting. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is typical Dr. Tom. I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, listen, it was on there. I don't know why it's on there. We started talking, and if you've ever had either a longer than 30-second conversation with me, you either absolutely love me or absolutely hate me. And I think that probably resonates with Dane, because you can see how some people will be like, I don't want to listen to him anymore. So Tom goes, dude, why don't you come down? We'll talk, right? So before I went there, small world, the dean of education at Montgomery County College, who was my boss, gets adjusted by Doc Tom's, because I'm telling her this story. So I'm like, I got to go work with this guy, because she was one of my dear friends. She was good people. She said she loved Doc Tom, and everyone loves Doc Tom. And Dr. Tom, for everyone that doesn't know, is a chiropractor. So I go end up meeting him, and I pull up to this place, and I walk in through the front, and it's this medical looking facility. It's a chiropractic office, but no one's there. The lights are off, right? So I walk in, and I'm like, there's no way, because I came from a really big CrossFit gym, huge. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I hear like some pounding and some chains moving and some like loud, it was like Octane radio in the back. I go back there, and Doc Tom, for everyone doesn't know what he looks like, he's bald. He looks like Vin Diesel, but like twice as big. So I walk in the back, and there's this guy with his shirt off, with chains around his neck, with a sledgehammer, and he's hitting this tire. And I'm like, I'm just watching. He looked over at me, and then he just looked right down and started doing his workout again. Like, he didn't pay me any mind. So I just sat there, and I literally stared at him, and the gym was small. It was so small. We could barely fit like 8 or 9 people in there at a time. We had to remove drop ceilings to get people to do any kind of things overhead. We couldn't do wall balls. We had mirrors in the gym. It was tiny. Anyway, we met, we talked. Crazy part of the story, one of the coaches, one of his first coaches that was helping him out, wanted to leave and didn't tell Doc Tom. So he posted his own job so he could find someone to replace him, and he can present that to Dr. Tom. So crazy. It's nuts how I actually met him, because all these situations that happen. So, and that is like 10 years of business. We started at one location, we moved to a little bit bigger location, and in December of 2019, We moved into Dr. Dane's building, and it's just been fantastic. And I'm going to close this part of it with, because I know Dr. Dane probably wants to lead into some other stuff, but we moved into December. We turned that gym around so quickly, and by the time this virus hit, we were peaking. Our classes were packed. Our coaching level was phenomenal, and we've been doing this for a long time. And when I tell you that, and I've been coaching for a long time, so, it also takes a mature person to understand that they made some mistakes. And I'm first to admit on public, where people can hear me, we were not coaching for the last 10 years, and we stayed in business. Could you imagine how good non-coaches we must have been? Honestly, that we were able to move into a building, renovate it, totally flip it, and still be thriving during a time of a crisis. Yeah. It's crazy. It was like the worst thing that could happen and the best thing that could have happened. And that all came to fruition in like 3 days, from a Thursday to a Saturday afternoon to a Monday. That we went through such a big process and thought process about what we were going to do and what we're actually doing now. And I can tell you with honesty, and this sounds really, really bad, I'm a little bit happy that this virus happened. And you hate to say that, right? Because this virus is going to be unfortunate. A lot of people are going to get sick. They are. Yeah. And I feel terrible about that. A lot of old people are going to get very sick. And it's going to claim a lot of people because it's not getting better, right? But with everything that happens like this is a crisis. You can either make it a crisis, or you get on with life and find a better way, or a way right now to be better, right? Because you could sit home and not do any exercise. You could sit home and make bad food decisions. But my motivation was that crisis has me looking at under a big magnifying glass at my business model. And it's made me realize that I'm kicking myself.
So Matt, why do you say that? So, obviously it's not only a crisis because we're going to, lose a lot of older people and people that are immunocompromised, but it's a crisis because a lot of businesses are going to really struggle and shut down because of this as well. So what I want to get at is what process did you go through to say, okay, I got to stop feeling sorry for myself, because your CrossFit, it got closed down. You were trying to stay open and keep everything sanitized. And then all of a sudden they came in and said, sorry, Matt, you can't have your business run anymore. So can you take me from that point to how you got to a point now where you're growing?
So what the crazy thing that happened is on Wednesday, before this all happened, it happened on a Thursday, my basic thought process was, I have a physical gym. This is where we do our job. This is where we provide our service. I guess we got to close. We got to hope for the best. I hope my members love me, right? And they keep on wanting to pay us because they love the coaches, and we're going to post an online workout that they can do at home, right? And then I thought, let's not talk about the business. How am I going to make myself better? And the only thing I wanted to do was focus on my health, right? This is a time to hit the reset button. It's the reset button. If you value health and fitness, nutrition, exercise, this is a time to hit the reset button. And when I said that to myself, I said, I'm not going to stop delivering value. I just have to deliver it in a different world. Listen, if you believe in what you do as a practitioner, a coach, and you believe your knowledge has value and you can help people, you can come to the online world. And then I said, let me text my coaches. Can everyone get on a call at 1 o'clock on Saturday? This is what we're going to do. And I've seen it out there. I didn't really know what it was, though. I saw some coaches were doing some, like, the big gyms. We're doing online coaching. And I have a colleague in the field that's very close to me, and she's a successful online coach. And I never thought that you can provide your value through that. I didn't see the value in it until I took the advice of one person. and it was an internet influencer. And they said, if you want to change your business as one of these small boutique kind of gyms, and I put my CrossFit gym into that, any kind of studio, small group training, and you want to know how it's done, stop watching your competition and go watch Peloton. That's what they said. I had a couple friends with some accounts. Can I get your login? So I'm watching it, YouTubed a couple things, and I'm like, whoa. And they're just a lot of rah-rah. Like, we're characters. We're all intelligent. You know, if you're watching this, it's because you actually care about getting better. And you think what I'm going to tell you probably has some value to it. And it does. And I believe in my product. You know what my product is? It's me. It's me. You know what else my products are? My coaches, because it's them. Your people that train with you in your brick and mortar location want to still see you. And if you're a good coach and a good practitioner, you will do anything you can, and you will make it as creative as possible. And you will know the why behind what you're doing. And if you could do that at a time like this, you are going to be successful. What you're also going to do is build a level of trust between your client, your athlete, your patient, and the person that's leading them through this process. Because they're going to believe you so much more now if you weren't doing this before than they did then. And the only thing you have to know is why you're doing it. And that will give you the drive and determination to do anything it takes to be able to make this work. And I'm making this sound so broad, but our program is so intricate. But we worked hard over 48 hours. And I'm not saying everyone can do this, but I have fantastic coaches. My team is elite. Seriously, and I'm not saying this because I want to be better in that CrossFit gym or better in that one. These people, they're good people. That's what makes them elite. I'm not talking about exercise. I didn't say one thing about a kettlebell swing. I didn't say one thing about a snatch. I don't have to. Because at the end of the day, if you're smart and you know your stuff, if those people trust you and you believe what you're doing, you can do this. You can get online and start delivering service to packed classes. And maybe you don't want to do packed classes, and that's fine. Our classes, honestly, have never been so packed. I'm glad we're shut down, Dane, because if our classes were this big, they'd be a disruption to everyone in your side of the office. Everyone. They would. Your massage therapist would complain for days because we can't fit 40 people in that location.
So can I just share something with you?
Sure. Dane, do I go on too long? Something. Go ahead.
I can listen to you for 2 hours, buddy. I so tap into your passion. It's literally palpable through the computer. But I want to share something with somebody. I love to train, and I love to train with the people that I love. And the person I love most in this world is my wife. And Matt, you and I, we've talked about this. I really want Jill to do CrossFit with me because I enjoy doing it. And she doesn't have the passion for it that I do. It's not that she doesn't have passion around exercise. She really does. She's very self-conscious about, I was going to say she's self-conscious about her snatch, but that wouldn't really sound good. So I'm going to say she's self-conscious about her power clean. And she, and she's been jumping on the online classes because nobody has to look at her. Okay. She can get out of the field of camera and then come back in and wave hi and be part of the community without people self-examining her movements. I mean, and that's not something, so that's why she won't go to a necessarily a class, especially if it's packed or there's a complex movement, but she'll come online. And how many people out there, Matt, are like that?
There's a ton. And the first thing you said, and it's going to make me want to touch on something. So this is going to be one of those ones where you're going to stare at me a little bit, wondering where I'm going with this. And then I may have a really good point or a really bad point. But the point you made to me that really stood out is Jill somehow doesn't feel confident or comfortable enough coming into a class and doing a high skill movement.
Right.
You know what I found out through my years of making mistakes, right? Because like I feel at this point in my career, because I've never been like this. I never really like Dane. If I was this vocal and out there and trying to touch as many people with my thoughts now, I think I would have a lot more people listening to what I have to say, right? I would. And so now that I do, or I'm getting more, you guys, why the virtual community works is for people like Jill, Dane's wife, that don't want to come into your facility, or even if you have a kettlebell facility, anything that's like more intimidating. Because here's the thing, you have 4 seconds to make an impression on someone. So let's think about that for a second. Jill comes into my facility, right? I'm coaching. There's no one at my desk. Everyone's dropping barbells. The music is loud. There may be some clean rap music on. Guess what? If she had any preconceived notions about what it was going to feel like in your gym, I'm going to tell you, don't try to sell her. Don't do it. You're done. You're wasting your time. Because you can ask her a couple questions, and if the first word that comes out of her mouth is something where you seem like she's nervous, she's not really warming up to you, she's done. She's done. And this is for all those people because, this makes me think about how my facility needs to look different when I go back. So I have those 4 seconds, because if you're not the person talking to them first and bringing them down, you've lost it. You've lost it. And it's really hard to make the sale, and not the sale as far as financial sale, but to sell them on the idea that this is what they should be doing, regardless if it's with you or anyone else. You have 4 seconds. It's so important. So important how you run your CrossFit gym and your 8 weeks to wellness gym. And with that being said, I realized that that's an issue because I can't be everywhere. And my coaches can't be everywhere. And your front desk staff, they have to go to the bathroom. You're giving up all that time. You know how we get that back? We go into their house. And you don't go in their house like physically, right? You go into their house like this. And you get comfortable on a camera, and you stop giving a shit about what you look like, how you sound, and you just start to be real with them, right? And you talk to them, and you understand their problems, that you can fix them. And guess what? If you want to set your gym and they have a barbell in there, and you want to do remote coaching snatches, if you're creative enough and you study enough, you can do it. And guess what? Now you've just broadened your reach to people that'll never step foot in your gym. And I'm trying not to talk about specifically CrossFit boxes, but that's what I have my experience in over the last 10 years. But this is anywhere. Anywhere. We take for granted, as fit people, we take for granted what it's like to walk into a gym for a person that's never exercised a day in their life, or has exercised when they were younger, has become morbidly obese, they have all kinds of health issues. You have no idea the anxiety that occurs when they're in your parking lot.
I think this group more than any other, Matt, does, because the 8 weeks to wellness community, we take care of, our target market is the deconditioned person over 50. And I think this group more than any knows that anxiety and fear, because that's kind of the people we have coming in. They've lost their way. They haven't worked out in 20 years. They're, 20 to 40 pounds overweight. They got metabolic syndrome. And they're just like, they want to hit the reset button.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And they see the program as a way to say, I can do everything, my nutrition, the exercise, and, but they have no clue what that looks like.
Exactly. So, my point in talking about it is I'm not doing this to save my gym. I'm doing this to increase my reach.
Right.
We're signing up new members each week. I signed up 30 members last week on a 1-week pass. And
that's crazy, Matt.
Wait, the only reason it was a 1-week pass, because we created this in 48 hours, and as of Monday, I had no idea how this was going to go.
Right.
Because although we had a meeting, and I gave a sample class on Sunday to about 30 or 40 people, I was way better on Friday, and Dr. Dane, I think, took my class on Friday. Was it? Yeah. I was way better on Friday than I was on Monday. And now I think most of those people are going to convert to monthlies for as long as we're closed. Now, will we retain all these people when we open back up? Probably not, because guess what? Some of them are the reason they're joining is because they like to exercise, and they're going to go back to your brick and mortar location, and they're going to want to go fitness there. But I'm going to use this opportunity to get better at my craft and find out what I can provide online and what I can't, because maybe I can't do Olympic weightlifting, but okay, so what else can I do? Because I'm a fitness professional. You know, I have certifications way beyond CrossFit. I've been dealing with all kinds of populations. So how valuable is your skill set? And what do you think you can provide in an online community? Because I'm telling you without a doubt right now is I had my doubts, because that's why I've just started to do this now, because I never looked into this before. And I'm kicking myself because I never got comfortable with it, never got educated on it. And now I'm learning. I'm in the fire right now, and I'm learning.
So you said something really important. I don't want to gloss over it. So you're creating more value for your members, right? That now can't go to the brick and mortar, Newtown, CrossFit Newtown, right? But there's nothing to say that once you open that back up, that this is just another value add that's going to just make them want to be a part of the community. I travel a lot. How great would it be for me to say, okay, Matt's doing a virtual class here. I'm gonna jump in just like I'm doing now, just like we're doing from our home. I'm gonna do it from my hotel room. So why would you want to stop the service, just because the pandemic has gone away and you can go back into the gym? I think this is an opportunity that's going to live well beyond, this pandemic.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I'm 39, so I don't think I'm that old, but I'm definitely not that young. All right, I'm not great with technology, but I have to admit that's the lines of communication we're in during this time, and it has been for a lot of years. Right. I know people that operate a profitable business with no website. You know what they use? Instagram. And they have zero website, and they use Instagram, and they're able to net for themselves 10 grand a month for themselves, like without a website, because websites even have become outdated. Everyone's on some kind of social, some kind of video. I mean, you need a website, but this whole virtual community, we're all in this together, guys. We're all fitness professionals. We're all trying to help. The number one problem is that America is the sickest country in the world. Would you agree with that, Dane?
Without question.
So what are we all doing? Why are we in this profession? To make money? Yes. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't in this profession to make money. But because I have a service that I'm absolutely certain is valuable. And now more than ever, you need to get on your computer and you need to extend your service online, and it doesn't go away afterwards. This is a means for us to reach way more people and make way more of a dent in our problems, because it's only getting worse. How many gyms are out there? And like, we keep on getting fed with people, right? Because nothing's happening, because our reach is not big. We are limited by a physical location. So look at it that way. Look at when you go back to your gym, you're a limited fitness professional. You're limited. Right. If you're not using these means, you're not, and let's talk about a businessman. You're not making any more money.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you and I talked about that the other day. I think the opportunity here for you, Matt, is enormous, but I want to wrap it up to be respectful of your time and everybody's time, but can you maybe just take me through the process? Because doctors are if they're like me, they're like, all right, Matt, well, just tell me what to do. Like, time is of the essence here. There's an opportunity. I need to jump on it for my office and my team, and I want to keep paying my team like you're paying your coaches. Yeah. A lot of CrossFits probably have shut down. They're not paying their coaches. It's just a matter of time if this goes on for months before they're out of business. Yeah. Can you just share with everybody step 1, step 2, step 3?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing is if this is the direction you want to go as a management or owner level person, you need to know why you're doing this. Honestly, you need to be honest with your coaches, all right, and the rest of your staff. You need to be honest why you're doing this and get their buy-in, because you need their trust, right? And they need to be a 10 out of 10 with this new project. They need to be a 10 out of 10 on 3 things. They have to trust you 10 out of 10. If they don't, this may not work. Number 2, they have to trust the product you're now going to be providing. They have to trust that it has a value and they're certain that it'll help people. They need to be a 10 out of 10. And the last one is, if you're the actual company, they need to believe in the company. And that may also be you, but they need to believe that the company is out there to help people, right? And that it's ethical, and we're going to do a good job. And they need to be 10 out of 10 in all of them. Because if they're not, they won't be on board. They won't be. That's step number one.
Get them on the bus.
On what's that?
We like to say, get them on the bus and in the right seats before you drive the bus.
Exactly. You're not saying this is what we're doing, guys, because this is new to all of us. And if you do that, it's not going to work. Oh. After that, you need to, as quickly as you can, get comfortable with technology before you even outline how this structure is going to be. Because if you can't do it, the rest of what I'm going to say doesn't even matter. You have to get comfortable on Zoom. You have to get comfortable on social media. And you have to get comfortable performing in front of a camera. And if you're not comfortable, that's going to be your first problem. What I suggest, and I told Dr. Dane this before, I suggest you go watch people that are really good doing it, and maybe not in your field because they're not experts in your field. I went on and watched Peloton, and now I understand why people pay for that. You know why? The number one thing is, you know why they use you? Because you're a level of accountability. You are a level of accountability for them. So if you're providing a service that they're paying for at a specific time, they have to be accountable.
Right.
So that's the first layer. You need to get your coaches and yourself on board with being or delegating the task of being an accountability coach or an accountability lead or anything. The way we did that, and Dr. Dane has just come into our virtual world, so I almost want to give him that experience too and put him with an accountability coach to see what they're doing. All my athletes were divided up between 7 individuals, 7 or 8 individuals. They're all responsible for about 20 to 30 clients, patients, athletes. They put them in the app Group Me. It's an app you can buy in the store. It's a group messaging feature that will not blow up your phone. It kind of stays in the background. It's really cool because why we don't use group text is because, say you ask a question in a text, and then 30 people start firing off things, and now you can't get back to that message. No one's going to answer your question. In Group Me, you can answer the question individually, almost as if it was an email inside of a group chat, and everyone knows you answered the question. So everyone's getting the information. My accountability coaches do all kinds of things. They deliver information from the community to me. I deliver information from me to the community through them, through text messaging. We have weekly challenges. So your job as an accountability coach is to make sure all your athletes complete the challenge or complete the workouts. And we're asking for pics. We're asking for tags on social media to get your social media following up. And we're exploiting all those avenues. And we need to post a lot to kind of have it bubble a little bit.
Yeah, so this week's challenge was a 5K, right?
Besides our online community,
right.
We got a challenge. Guys, by the end of the week, you guys have to walk a 5K. And we don't care if it's with a dumbbell. We prefer it with a dumbbell, a kettlebell. You can put on a vest. You can carry a backpack. You can carry your child. But we want you to document it, video it, tag us. We've gotten so many people to go do that. And our theory with our challenges, and this is what we're doing, it's something that you probably wouldn't do, but you definitely should do. So just to reiterate that, probably something you wouldn't do, but probably something you should do. With that being said, we're going to instill one healthy habit per week in people throughout this crisis. So you know what our first one was? And I don't know if anyone picked it up. Anyone can walk. Anyone. Your patients, your athletes. And if they can't walk, then I guess we have a flaw. But I know my folks can walk. So guess what? Guys, we should be walking once a week. We should be.
Absolutely.
This week coming up, we have another challenge. Our challenge this week is to eat 800 grams of fruits and veggies a day. You have to do it one time and document it. One time. So you can do it by fistfuls. You could actually weigh it, take a picture of it, make it cool, tag us. Because guess what? That's something probably you wouldn't do. You wouldn't measure 800 grams of fruits and veggies, but you probably should do it. And we're asking for it one time in the week. So see what we're doing here? We're instilling foundational health practices that they don't need our gym for. And we're helping guide them through this process. And that's probably too much information. Now someone's going to go out there and make tons of money off of it. But anyway.
Can I ask you a favor? Since Jill's now part of the virtual community, next week's challenge, could you make that challenge, make love to your wife? Because that's probably something that you wouldn't do, but you should do.
It is. And you know what's funny? So and I actually think that's such a good idea, Dane, that my crazy brain, because that's what happens with me. I'll take that, and I think it's a fantastic thing. And this is how I would do you want to see how I would spin that? Do you want to hear it for entertainment value? Because I want people to make love and have sex because it's healthy, right? Yeah. I need to have sex. I told Laura, our Sunday day is past. We got a plan, right? Too much information. But here's how I spin it. This week, guys, and this is how I'm saying it, and I'm getting close to the computer, and I'm making sure that they can hear me and they understand what I'm saying with my tone of voice is definitely something they want to hear. The goal for this week is to spend an hour of quality time with someone you love. And how you spend that hour is totally up to you. You want to spend it taking a walk outside. You want to spend it eating dinner together for the first time without any electronic devices. Or if you want to spend it with 1 hour of a lovemaking session, then go ahead and do that because that's healthy. And spending time with your loved ones is healthy. You have to take a picture of it. You have to document it, except for the sex part. Let's keep that off. Anything you do with your family, we want it pictured. We want to tag us. And that's your challenge for this week. It's that easy.
I love it.
It's that easy. Yeah. But the thing with me, my coach is, I'm like one of the worst people to work with and one of the best people, right? Because you need a good team. Because I find that I've been able to have some really good, meaningful ideas, right? But I can't stop talking about them because they impress me so much. They really, really do. Like, I'm going to tell this to them, and they're going to make this happen. But you know who's going to be the one delivering it? I'm going to have to give that speech. Because who else would give that speech?
Let me know, because I want to make sure Jill hears that speech, bro. You know what I mean?
And the reason I have to change the way I deliver it is because I don't know the audience we're talking to right now, but you let me know with your comments that it was fair game to start to do this. So then I fed into it and I went on to it. But I got teenagers. I got little kids. We got a 10-year-old, 9-year-old in class. So what I may do, and look how serious I'm taking this idea. I said, if you want, you can spend that hour with your loved one any way you want. And I'll just wink. And you just wink at the end. That's awesome. Serious, like.
So, and that's awesome, Matt. Is there anything else that you think that we missed on what they need to do?
No, I mean, really, the way we laid it out, accountability coaches, you have to keep in contact with every one of your clients, every single one. They pay you for a reason. They pay you to keep you accountable. And all joking aside, I know we got off topic. You have to find ways to increase accountability. And the only way that you do that right now is through this technology.
Right.
The only way. We're on the same playing field here.
So guys, what Matt's saying is so relevant to our group because we all have members, right? And your coaches need to be reaching out individually to the members. I'm going to look into this GroupMe app because I think it's a great idea, you know? So how can we engage our members, you know, and basically, guys, this is what we're doing for you. You know, we're going to create content for you guys so you don't even have to do it, you know? So, you know, it's a really just, it's a kind of a scary time, but Matt, I can't thank you enough, buddy. Like I really could talk to you for 2 hours because you're such an entrepreneur and your energy is so amazing. But I love this stuff. And at the end of the day, guys, you know, I always say, Matt, somebody has to go out and make these pens tomorrow, you know, when they get back. And to me, that's just not something I would necessarily be passionate about. Maybe somebody who really loves pens would, but I like to be passionate about things that really serves humanity. And I think that's why we got into this field. And that's certainly why we created 8 Weeks to Wellness, because I wanted to save lives. And I get tingles when I think about it every time I say that, Matt. But I created 8 Weeks to Wellness because I was tired of seeing the sick America. I was tired of seeing the obese person come in and say, my back hurts again. Well, of course it does, man. You're carrying 40 pounds. You know, I was tired of the practice member coming and say, my brother died of a massive heart attack. He was 39 years old, you know? So we're not selling guys pens, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
We're selling life, man. We're selling, like,
Yeah.
you know, we're giving people their life back. And if you can't get excited about that and think outside the box, then I really don't know what to tell you.
I mean, yeah, and honestly, what makes my job easy and what makes it easy for me to talk about this so quickly and I'm able to take these ideas is, number one, what Dr. Dane said, it's passion. So you have to, like, look at yourself. If you're not passionate about what you do, then you're not going to want to do this. But I'm so passionate about it, and Dr. Dane is too. I can hear it in his voice that it's so easy. It's so hard to do this, but it's so easy. I'm having the time of my life doing it. I'm having fun, and I'd never worked more in my life.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
I've been so busy. I've been on the phone. I've been on this computer today. So I've given myself another job. I had the power to do that. And I gave myself a job today. And I've been on this call on a Saturday from 8:30 to 1 o'clock.
Well, you're going to be done after this, buddy. And then you can go.
I am. I probably have a couple more things to do today because I don't really stop going. But
yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed this talk. It reinvigorates me to keep on pushing harder, that people are interested in what we're doing and think we're doing a good job, because I'm so competitive with myself. I just want to make it better. And anyone that's listening, if they want to reach out to me, Matt at CrossfitNewtown.com, and you want to have a conversation about what we're doing, you want me to get my coaches on the line so you can hear what they're saying, what the belief is, you want to know how I'm paying them, because they're 1099 employees. Okay, that's the truth. So, I mean, this is a time where we all need to stick together, and I'll let Dane get me off after this, I promise. But this is really a time that we all need to stay together, and we need to help each other out.
No doubt.
And I want to help people. And I could probably charge people to help. Right now I could. Probably could. But I wouldn't even do anyone involved in Dr. Dane's community. If you want to reach out to me and have a conversation and you want me to get my coaches on the line, that's on me. Seriously.
So Matt, I'm just a Christian, and I believe that, you know, God directs everything and nothing happens, you know, without a reason. And I think God brought us together, at least God brought me to you for a reason. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done, and just, you know, getting to know you over this past year. You know, I love to have people around me that raise my game. And, you know, whether that's in the CrossFit room or whether that's entrepreneurially,
Totally.
you know, to think about it that way. So I really appreciate your time, buddy. And I appreciate
anytime.
Our community.
Anytime. All right, Dr. Dane. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, brother. See you then.